Hey there. Welcome back to part 2 of my spring favorites. It has taken me a while to get back around to recording this part 2. As I have shared a couple of times, there has been some noisy tree work going on in my neighborhood over the last period of time, so I've had to be creative about when I am recording. Right now it is Sunday and it is a holiday weekend, so there is no work going on right now. It is quite a warm day, and so I'm being very bold, and I have left my window open. As I said, it is a holiday weekend here in the States, so there might be some neighborhood activity happening, but one of my favorite things about spring is being able to have the windows open. So I thought I'd just go with it, since this is a soft-spoken video anyway, and that the nature sounds, the birds singing outside, and any ambient lo-fi background noises that you might hear can just add to the springtime fun of the video. So if you missed part 1 of my spring favorites, I will link to that in the description. I have my notebook here, my handy dandy notebook, where I had listed all of my favorites I wanted to share with you. And last time I just got so rambly that I decided to break this video into 2 parts so I would not be rushed and could give all of my favorites their fair share of time and attention. So please do check out part 1. There were lots of fun things in there. And what is left for part 2 are mostly YouTube channels that I wanted to talk about. Some of my favorites this spring, which is why I will be tippity-tapping on my notebook and using that as a prop, because I don't have a lot of other props for this. Although the one other prop that I do have is a book, so you will see that soon. So this will end up being spring favorites and book sounds, I guess. So in part 1, I shared with you 5 of my favorite ASMR channels, and today I want to share with you 5 more channels on YouTube that I have been enjoying this spring that are not ASMR channels, although I think every channel on this list, the people who host these channels, all have lovely voices and lovely manners, and all pretty much give me ASMR in one way or another. So I will start by picking up the book I mentioned for my first YouTube channel I'd like to talk about, which is Mina Rome. And this is her cookbook. Here's Mina Rome, looking adorable as always on the back of her cookbook with a yummy looking cheesecake there. And if you are not familiar with Mina Rome, she has a wonderful vegan food and cooking channel where she posts amazing videos of the foods that she makes and eats. She posts wonderful, simple recipes. Some of them are a little more complicated too, but most of her content is focused on her day-to-day vegan eating. You can see the title of her book is All Day Vegan. I have this book out from the library, and it is almost due to be returned, which is why I needed to hurry up and finish recording this video. But you can see some of her beautiful creations here on the front of the book, and the subtitle is 100 Plant-Based Recipes to Enjoy Any Time of Day. And I love her cooking videos because, again, she focuses on simple recipes, and lately that is what I have needed, is simple, go-to, use up the things that you have kind of recipes. Sometimes she also does really fun videos where she will recreate foods from a particular show or movie or something like that. And those are a lot of fun. And so I was really excited when she came out with this cookbook. It's pretty recent, and this is her first cookbook. See, it says new right here on the library book. And I'm just so pleased for her. And all of her videos are filmed in her very cute small kitchen in her apartment. She lives in Germany. She is German. And I just love her recipes. And I love the aesthetic of her videos. I love her style. She's super adorable. She has this amazing radio voice. All of her videos are recorded in her kitchen and then done with a voiceover. And so they have a very like radio show kind of feel, and her voice definitely gives me ASMR. She has a lovely voice, and she's just very laid back, a very, sort of cool, non-fancy, non-high pressure kind of food creator. And I am not vegan, but I love vegan recipes, and most of my favorite cookbooks are vegan cookbooks because I love vegetables, and I do eat a mostly plant-based diet. So I have been having a ball exploring this cookbook. I have made several of the recipes. Let me see if I will find something that I have made for you. I made this cinnamon raisin cornbread, which was delicious. A very brilliant idea, I think, to combine cinnamon raisin bread and cornbread. I love to make muffins. I'm quite a muffin gal, so those were a big hit. Probably my favorite thing, I'll see if I can find it as I'm flipping. Probably my favorite thing that I made from this cookbook is this soup, which is a tempeh pasta soup. You can see these beautiful bowls of soup here. And I actually posted a short on my channel of this soup. So if you want to see some live action footage of it, go check out my shorts page. I put some music behind it, one of my favorite David Gray songs, to make a little sort of, little short soup film kind of vibe there. And this was a delicious soup full of veggies and pasta and tempeh, which is a wonderful vegan protein source. It is a fermented soybean cake, which doesn't sound very appetizing, but is delicious, especially when it is infused with flavors and spices. I really, really love this soup. It had a very deep texture of flavor, and it included a technique where you puree your base ingredients like the onion and the carrot, and so it made a really silky, sort of thicker broth base. And then you put the broccoli and the pasta and some of the other ingredients in it. I may not be describing that exactly perfectly, but it was delicious. So I really, really enjoyed that soup. And then my other favorite thing that I made, and I think I marked it here. Yes, I did mark it with a little post-it here. Was I've probably made them 10 times. These chocolate chip oat cookies that you make in the food processor. They don't have any actual flour in them. The oats in them get ground up and become the flour. And so they have very simple ingredients. And you just put all of them in the food processor and zhuzh them up until you get your cookie dough, and then you chill it and you stir in the chocolate chips. And it makes these super, super delicious, very oaty and yummy chocolate chip cookies. And I love oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. I think they are an unsung hero in the cookie world. And so this has become a go-to recipe for me, for sure. So this cookbook is divided into the times of day. There is a section for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert. I feel like I'm being very awkward and tapping on this book this time, but that's okay. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you check out this book if you're interested in trying a new cookbook. And I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go right now and check out Mina Rome's YouTube channel, which I will link to. I will have links to all the channels that I am mentioning in this video. And her channel is full of wonderful, fun, delicious, plant-based food. So thank you, Mina Rome. It's like she's right here on my channel with me. How exciting. But she is truly one of my favorite YouTubers, and her channel has been one of my favorites this spring. Okay, so we will put Mina down. She is the only person that I have an extra prop for their channel, so I will just go back to tapping on my notebook now. The next channel that I wanted to mention is a channel about herbalism and gardening. As you all know, I love plants. I love to share my garden with you. And the last couple years, I've really gotten into bioregional herbalism and learning to utilize wild plants and make folk medicine and kitchen medicine and food-based preparations from herbs. And I have been learning a lot from this YouTube channel called The Acadian and Apothecary, which is hosted by a lovely person named Danae, and that is actually my sister's name as well, spelled a little differently. But so the first time she introduced herself on the channel, I was like, oh my goodness, because I hardly ever hear anyone with that name. So that was pretty special. And the Acadian Garden and Apothecary, which I will link to, is a wonderful channel full of beautiful, incredibly aesthetically pleasing gardening videos where Danae walks you through how to use a lot of different herbs, a lot of different plants that might be growing wild in your yard. She talks about planting and caring for your garden and plants. She has recipes and formulas for teas. And I just really love her style and the whole vibe of the channel. And I really love the way she is educating people about how to use herbs and wild plants in their kitchens. So that is my number 2 YouTube channel recommendation, just for some beautiful plant therapy. Again, the videos are just gorgeous to watch, and she has a wonderful manner. She's very soothing and, will give you ASMR just from the lovely quality of her voice. And I really recommend that you check out the Acadian Garden and Apothecary. She also has a lovely video about how to make a windowsill garden. So if you're someone that doesn't have a lot of space to be doing things outside, there are a lot of resources there for how to work with whatever space that you have. And so I think that is very useful for our urban and city gardeners. There are resources there for you as well. Okay, the next 2 channels that I wanted to mention are Reiki channels, energy healing channels. If you're not familiar with Reiki, you may well be, because there's a lot of overlap in the ASMR community and the Reiki community on YouTube. And Reiki is a form of energy healing that originated in Japan and is pretty widely practiced these days, or so it seems from the amount of people there are doing it on YouTube. And I am a believer in energy healing, and I do believe that it works via video, mainly because I really believe in the power of intention. And that's one of the reasons I do ASMR, and I believe in the power of ASMR, because I believe that when an energy healer or a Reiki practitioner is putting their healing intention into a video, and then someone comes to it with their own personal intention to heal and clear out their energies and benefit from the practices, that there is a mutual exchange of energy and that it really can be quite beneficial. And so the 2 channels that I would love to recommend, if you would like to try some Reiki healing, which also are very much an overlap with ASMR. They both use ASMR in the titles of their videos because their videos are quite relaxing, but I do think there is more to it than ASMR. They are quite skilled energy workers. The first channel is MindfulFrequency. MindfulFrequency. And that channel is hosted by a beautiful couple, 2 people, named Nell and Coast. And they have just such kind, beautiful, calming, healing energy. Nell provides Reiki healing and soothing hand movements and energy healing and energy work with her hands. And then in many of the videos, Coast is in the background playing singing bowls and other spiritual sound instruments and just exuding this incredibly grounding, calming vibe. And I just love their videos. They seem like very down-to-earth people, there's not a lot of frou-frou, out there energy to their videos. They're not trying to prove anything. I don't know, they just seem like really cool people, and they're just being themselves and sharing their healing energy. And so I really, really enjoy watching their videos, and during this tough time that I've been going through this spring, they have brought me a lot of peacefulness and a lot of calm. And the second Reiki channel that I would like to recommend is called TipoftheMoon. TipoftheMoon. And that channel is hosted by a lovely person named Bree, who also has an incredibly calming, grounding energy, and again is very down to earth, just very kind and very soothing and not pretentious or anything like that at all. It's as if you're just walking into someone's, happy, calming, healing space and receiving this beautiful energy alignment. And her videos have been especially helpful to me with the bad dreams that I've been having and with the disrupted sleep that I've been having over the last couple of months. She has a lot of really nice videos that are dream energy videos to sort of clear out your mind before you sleep, to help you have restful dreams. There are some wonderful videos on Tip of the Moon's channel for removing heavy emotions and all sorts of different themes, self-compassion, self-love, and she's also very, very knowledgeable about crystals. She uses a lot of crystals in the videos and gives a lot of information about each one of the crystals and their benefits and why those particular ones are being used for that particular session. And so I have learned a lot about crystals from those videos, and that is something that I am very interested in too. So Tip of the Moon is my fourth YouTube recommendation. And then my final one in this little grouping, before I move on to some music channels I want to recommend, is my current favorite yoga channel, which is Yogawithuliana. And there are a lot of YouTube yoga channels out there, so everyone, can kind of find their own favorite. But she is just so wonderful. Again, her voice will give you ASMR. Her voice is so soothing and grounding and calming. Her practices are very simple and accessible. There's not a lot of extra stuff going on. She doesn't do a lot of extra talking. She just sits down with you or stands. She has some really lovely standing sequences. She's just there with you with her kind, calm energy, and she gets right into the practice and explains the poses really well. She has a lot of 10 to 15 minute practices. And I mentioned this in my mental health update video that Justin and I have been doing her videos every morning and every evening for the past few weeks. And it has helped both of us so much to stay grounded and calm. It has been helping Justin so much with his depression, and it's been helping us physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So if you are a person who has never tried yoga before, I highly recommend Yoga with Yuliana. She has many, many, many beginner-friendly videos. And even if you're a long-time yoga practitioner, check her out because I feel like she brings a beautiful, fresh energy to her practices, and I just really, really enjoy them. So, Yoga with Yuliana. So again, my 5 YouTube channel spring favorites are Mina Rome for vegan food, Acadian Garden and Apothecary for herbalism and gardening, MindfulFrequency and TipoftheMoon for Reiki and energy healing, and Yoga with Yuliana for yoga. And so the other category of YouTube channels that I wanted to mention are music channels or music artists. Because, again, as I mentioned in my mental health update video, Justin and I have been keeping things pretty simple when it comes to music. We haven't been playing a lot of records and things like that. I've just been putting on YouTube channels on our main computer we have in our living room so that we have music going during the day. And I absolutely love beautifulchorus. They are an a cappella group of 4 voices, 4 female voices. If you have not heard beautifulchorus, if you don't follow any other link in this video, please go right now and look up beautifulchorus. If you are a person who loves ASMR, you will love them. Their voices are so soothing. They will just bring your nervous system right down. They will calm you down. And their songs are all so uplifting. Many of them are mantras and renditions of simple spiritual songs, but most of their songs are super simple. They're like mantras that they repeat over and over again in these beautiful harmonies, all about peace and grounding. You know, one of my favorite ones that I've been listening to over and over is a song that says, "Please let me be brave. Please let me see my choices clearly." Because that is something that I really need right now. That is a sentiment that really resonates with me. Please bring me inner peace to my center, to the center of me. They have one that says, "My body is fine. My body is beautiful. My body is bold. My body is mine." I mean, they're just these wonderful, wonderful mantras put to beautiful music with beautiful voices. So I highly recommend beautifulchorus. And of course, you know, you can buy their albums and such as well, but they have a lot of music on YouTube. So I will put a link to my favorite beautifulchorus album in the description so you can check that out. And the second music channel that I wanted to mention is a lo-fi, you know, kind of hip-hop, mellow grooves channel. And there are so many lo-fi music channels on YouTube. You know, the original lo-fi girl, which is like that anime-looking girl with headphones on, with like next to the window with the rain, you know, and there are a million versions of that. There are many lo-fi channels, but my favorite one as of late is called Lofi Corgi. So I will link to Lofi Corgi It's just lovely, lo-fi, chill tunes from a record label, from a music production company. And their visuals are these beautiful sort of paintings, beautiful artistic renderings of corgis doing all sorts of cute things. And they have ones for morning and for evening and for relaxation and for focus. And that's basically what I've been putting on all the time in our house, just so that we can have chill music in the background. So if you're looking for some simple background music while you're studying or doing your thing, check out Lofi Corgi. And then my final music recommendation on YouTube are the NPR, National Public Radio, Tiny Desk concerts, which are basically these short concerts where artists of all sorts of genres, very, very well-known artists, come into the NPR studio and record a short set in this tiny little studio office with a small little live audience of like the NPR staff and friends. And they are just so much fun, and I've really enjoyed hearing some of my favorite artists in this unique setting, and then also discovering new artists in that way. I think my favorite of all of them is the Lizzo Tiny Desk concert. I mean, she is just so amazing and so uplifting, and it's a wonderful set of music from her. And then there are some other artists that I had just never heard of before that I have discovered through Tiny Desk. So I think maybe I'll make a playlist of my favorite Tiny Desk concerts, and I'll include that in the description box for this so that you can also experience the Tiny Desk. The last thing, I've gotten very casual here, I'm just like all lounged down, leaning on my knee here. The last thing that I wanted to include as one of my spring favorites is my favorite personal mantra. And that is, with everything going on in my life right now, my mantra this spring has been, at this time. So everything that I'm considering, everything that I'm thinking about, I think, what do I need at this time? What do I need to do at this time? What do I need to focus on at this time? Not in the future, not in the past, not trying to predict, not dwelling on things from the past that I regret or wish I had done differently, not projecting into the future and trying to figure everything out, but instead just focusing in each moment on what I need and what my priority is at this time. And I give a shout out to my therapist, Ronald, my BetterHelp therapist. Again, I've been continuing to use BetterHelp, and I should include that as one of my spring favorites because it has really helped me a lot this spring. Maybe I'll actually include my referral link, I hadn't thought of that until now, in the description for BetterHelp, in case anyone is curious and wants to try out online therapy, because it has been a huge, huge help to me this spring. So many thanks to my BetterHelp therapist for gifting to me that mantra of at this time. So I think that's what I will leave you all with. This video has been a little random, but I did want to share all these channels with you that I have been enjoying. Please go to the description box and check out something new. I love sharing things with you that might uplift you or help you or educate you or brighten your day. And I wish you much peace and joy this spring and in everything that you do and you think and you say and you feel at this time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Take good care of yourself. Rest well. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you, little notebook, for seeing us through this video. It's one of my favorites, too.